Here between the Atlanta Falcons and the New Orleans Saints. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, the former Houston Cougar, Case Keenum.
And no excitement unless you're on the defensive team of last week in his numbers, because the only excitement he really generated was the one interception he threw.
Yeah, no touchdown passes.
Yeah, and his team wasn't real thrilled about that. And they lost the game. So I know this week has been tough on him because he's been working hard. Fundamentals, footwork, finding the right targets. And bottom line, how do they get a win?
Now a play fake here on first down. And his first look is incomplete. Here now the offensive starters for Atlanta.
It's real easy to express how much you love about Julio Jones' game, because when you watch him perform, you see a little bit of everything. You see strength, you see the power with the run after catch, but what you don't see is the work he puts in during the week, and you also don't see this. A #1 receiver, one of the best in the league, that doesn't act like a diva.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming. A look now at the defensive starters for the Saints. They were terrific last week in the victory over Kansas City.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks, and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. A shotgun snap for Keenum. And it's complete. Hooper. And he finally goes down at the 23-yard line. A big play on 3rd down for the Falcons. And even 50 yards.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And finding the tight end, Hooper. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 50. At the 16-yard line. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Keenum to throw on 2nd down. Able to fight through one. And that'll be hauled in by the tight end. It's Hooper for the Falcon touchdown. Austin Hooper, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Falcons take it all the way down the field and score on the opening drive. Point after by Lambeau, up and good. And it's now a 7-0 game. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And the Falcons score to cap it off. Perry, the return. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. And leading them out there, we get a look at their 6'3" quarterback.
And what I enjoyed in preparing for this game was talking not just with the coaching staff, but with him as well. And I found it interesting that the coaching staff sees him one way, and he sees himself an entirely different way.
Yeah, one thing he said he's always working on, we know he's not bad at this, but his footwork, always wants to improve that, and that's something he's going to focus on here.
And what was so funny, what the offensive coordinator say right off the top, he's got great footwork. Love his footwork. So this guy is never satisfied.
The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 19 carries, 101 yards. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line.
How about the first month of the season for him? He leads the league in rushing, so you know his confidence is at an all-time high, which means his offensive line loves it too. They'll get more opportunities to run block for him.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Another good run there for a guy who, remember, on Wednesday was named NFC Offensive Player of the Week for what he did a week ago.
Yeah, and you know it takes some solid runs and some extra special ones in order to win that type of an award. I think he's locked in and wants to get it done a second time.
And they'll work this down to the 40-yard line. Tackled there. We'll give him 10 yards on that one, and that'll earn him a fresh set of downs. This running game's so important for them, and they know that. It helped lead them to a victory last week when he was over 100 yards.
Let's face it, it's their identity, and that's what they want to play to. They want to be that team that runs the ball really well each and every week, and right now we're seeing a pretty good pattern of that happening.
And he'll take this one down to about the 40. Up from his linebacker spot, Deion Jones making the play.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. Now back to throw. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
And able to work his way down to the 16. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. To the ground. This time it's Chubb. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. He got maybe a half yard at most, but officially they'll be left with a 3rd and 2.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the first play will be a field goal try. It'll be from the right hash, and it'll be a 36-yarder. And Lutz puts this one through. And they are on the board, but still trailing. It's 7-3. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Now the Falcons offense, they get ready to head back out here. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac. But you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
Breaks through the contact. And all the way down to the 35. A big hitter. That one goes for 40 yards.
And that's why defense coordinators always preach 11 guys to the ball. Because sometimes you have a missed tackle, but if you have a swarm of guys around, less room for them to roam even after the first missed tackle. In this case, tackle was missed, plenty of open field to get after that.
It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he's unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
Now a handoff looking right. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And they're going to have a third down.
We all have habits. We can be somewhat predictable, and you know me pretty well on second down and short. What I like to see?
Play action.
Yeah, without a doubt. I thought that was a great spot to call it. Instead, didn't go their way, did it?
Now, defense sold out for the run. Worked out well. Now on third down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. And Lambeau will put this one through. But hang on, a flag is down. Now, if it's on the defense, they might decline it and take the points.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
That play seems to never work, but they were able to draw him off on 4th, and now it's 1st and 10. And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And able to work his way down to the 16. A good run there on 1st down, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 2.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through them, picking up 1st downs.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. Only a yard that time, 2nd and goal. Defensively, pretty good start there with their backs against the wall.
That's a win for the stop troops right there. And if I'm them, I get a little bolder now. They won the first battle. Keep coming after them. Put the pressure on them.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And a decent gain there as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. A nice run now for 3rd down. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. 4th down after the New Orleans defense holds serve.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield. But when push came to shove, they stood their ground. And now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
And Lambeau will put this one through. And they push the lead up to a touchdown now at 10-3. So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. For the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his big tight end over the middle. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 1st down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14.
As far as tight ends go, this guy's not a speed burner. He's much more of an inline blocking type of a tight end. But how about this last play? Made a nice catch and picked up a 1st down.
That's what impresses me about him. When he's called upon, usually gets it done. And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only this into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off right around the 43. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw? And when you can't do that,
then he'll be hit from behind, and he has landed on hard. Yannick Ngakoue in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. The second down attempt there knocked down as it leaves the quarterback's hand, and it's incomplete. And they'll go on the ground. And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield. And now the Saints are going to take a timeout on defense as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. First month of the season, those numbers pretty solid. Does he continue that?
I think so, because when you come out of the gate this strong, that means that you have planned for it and you like the results that you're.
Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and end up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync. Only way to play good defense.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. They'll set up to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
A very good return there. Give him an even 20 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. A second quarter score from down in Houston. And the Jags, they're out to an early lead there. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Throwing on first down is Keenum. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 11 seconds remaining in this first half. That first down completion only netted him 3. 2nd and 7. Shotgun snap for Keenum. He completes it to Julio Jones. Touchdown, Falcons. Julio Jones in the final seconds of the first half. And the Falcons will add on to their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half end.
All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So we have reached halftime now with the visiting Falcons out on top, fielded about a yard deep. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Out come the Saints now. They'll go on offense first here to begin the third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there.
But
this
you're going to do that?
I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Play clock down to 0, And this is not the way to start a drive.
Delay of game, offense.
He didn't seem in a rush. I guess they just didn't know where the play clock was.
I think you're right about that because there was no hurried movements there, right? No up-tempo at all. Clock just ran out. I think he was as surprised as maybe his bench was.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Throw left side complete. That's Romero. And he's able to get up here to the 26. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice, easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
Detroit! Detroit!
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards through the air and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
Just work with me a second here, because in my lifetime, seeing how quarterback percentages have changed in throwing the football, I mean, back in the good old days, if you were around 50%, you were doing okay. But now, you need to be 65 to 70% to be considered an elite quarterback. And in this ball game, I feel like we're playing old school, right around 50%.
Yeah, he's under 50%. He needs to start hitting more targets. That one, 28 yards on the ground.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Back to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 16. And a terrific return as he'll take it up past the 35. First possession in the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that.
Has that happened to you before?
No, I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Now that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. On third and long, it's Cam. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth.
Whether you're playing West Coast offense or not, maxims of the West Coast offense is you're either throwing a touchdown or a check down. In other words, look for the big shot, but be smart. I think they did exactly that on that play. They didn't get the first down, but they're taking care of the ball well.
Yeah, and being rightly cautious with that lead here in the second half. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. A big seam, and he might go all the way. And oh, so close as he takes it all the way to the 2-yard line. A big play there on the catch and run. 78 yards. Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a first and goal situation. They'll run with Chubb. And he takes it across and into the end zone. Touchdown, Saints. Nick Chubb, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints have cut it back within a score. That's the score you felt they had to have here in the third quarter to get back in this game.
And you know that there's an emphasis on their side. Hey, we know this. We know where we are. But sometimes that binds you up so much that you try too hard, you don't get the score. A perfect combination of urgency, yet relaxed enough to get it done.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Certainly want to avoid what they had to do last possession. That was punt the football, because this game's starting to tighten up.
In a basketball sense, you think about taking a little bit of the air out of the ball, right? Maybe milk some clock, limit the possessions. In this case, they might want to do the same thing, but control the game offensively. Put together some first downs, put together a drive, and keep it away from them.
10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down.
An opportunity to get a drive started here at the end of the third quarter. What you're trying to do is break the game down a little bit. Don't let your guys see too deep into the game, into the future, and say, oh, we got to get here. No, right here, right in front of them. Melt the clock down, get to the fourth quarter, try and keep going.
And try to keep that lead.
Exactly. I know they've got to be careful not to go to the well too often, but it's a fine line, isn't it? Because sometimes, if you've got success, you want to just keep pounding away.
But no success. On second down, here's Keenum. Now he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down. These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
Keenum, he finds Aguilar over the middle. It'll be a pickup of 16, but they'll remain short of the marker, and it's fourth down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away, trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
Oh, good move. 34 yards on the return. But for a moment, looked like he had a shot to go all the way. And the Saints will take over with a first down and 10.
Detroit!
So here's a first and 10 at the 38. They'll try and start this drive in the air. And the Falcons get there. The Falcons get the sack. Down he goes.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
And the pressure gets to him again. Tack McKinley in there to drop him, and sacks on first and second downs are going to lead to a third and long.
Watch him now, Barney! Barney! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Now on third and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Now before they run this fourth down play, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And take it right on the 30. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Falcons will be taking over first and 10. Atlanta now coming out on the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays that are going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first down, and the goal, end the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead.
To throw on second down is Keenum. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Stone. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Falcon football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this one also slow in developing as he's maybe getting back here to the line of scrimmage, but not much more than that. This is a big third down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. And they'll run it here. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop. 1:50 left in the football game. And his kick is good. Oh, he just did tuck it into the bottom of that left corner. And they double him up here. That makes our score 20-10. So his second field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the fourth quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. And now the Saints get set to trot out there. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness that defensive line is eating them alive.
Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And they went for a big play through the air on second down. Couldn't connect. Now it's third. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Tried to go for the big one there on second down. Now they're likely down to their final 2 plays.
And you know they've got to keep going for the big shot, right? So defensively, you play what they call top down. Nothing behind you. Make everything get completed in front.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. Over the middle, complete. It's Romero. And unable to break away. They stop him a few yards shy. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. And that'll be just about all she wrote for this one. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. The Falcons in victory formation as they take a knee. To his knee goes Keenum, and that should be the ball game.
And with that kneel down at the end of the game, partner, they now get to 3-1. This is a good football team we saw in this game.
It is indeed getting to 2 games above 500, and I know early on while they